My name is Kristani Shen, and in today's video, the topic of discussion for today will be singleness, and then it will be a discussion on Twilight, and then what else? So the singleness, a discussion on Twilight. I might go into Titanic a little bit, and the value of being single, right? The value of being single, and how being in certain countries, being a couple would be more valued, and how in certain other places being single is more valued, right? Certain communities, single is being more admired, right? But first, I did this setup for you guys, right? I did this setup for you guys. I hope you guys like it. If you don't like it, I don't care. I'm still gonna do it. So then, I'm gonna pour some this wine. The wine cover says, if you can read this, it says, if you can read it, it says forbidden fruit. Wait, forbidden fruit. I don't know if you guys can read this. It's forbidden fruit, because it's not really looking at it, it's not focusing really well. So then I'm gonna pour some wine. This is some wine. This is not wine, this is cranberry juice, right? I don't like to drink. So I'm gonna pour some cranberry juice in this full wine. So then we're just gonna sip, and we're gonna chat, and we're gonna have a discussion on singleness and the value of being single, right? Okay, so then right now I'm 33, right? And to tell you the truth, I know sometimes I put stuff about how to attract like the guy of your dreams, how to shoot your shot and stuff like that. But to me, I feel everything is a blessing, you know? Everything could be a blessing, right? For instance, I think being single, being in a couple sometimes could be kind of overrated. And believe me, I've never been in a relationship before. It could be overrated to me. Like for me, I am content in the position that I'm in, right? By the way, I'm a free spirit, you know. I like to be free. Although I feel if you're in a relationship, that's great, you know. But I just feel that in particularly Western cultures, especially American society, North American society, like Haitian society also, for the most part, many societies, they put being a couple on a pedestal, right? They put being a couple on a pedestal. It's like, it's the end all be all, and I don't feel like that is what it is, right? It's not the end all be all, right? So then there are certain advantages to being single, right? Just like there are certain advantages to when you're not antisocial, and you're not antisocial, but you would be characterized as more of a loner, right? Like I would say that's what I am, right? I'm a loner. But in like American society, even that is looked on as not good. That's looked on as very bad. I think sometimes because I love like India, I love Korea, I love certain Asian like cultures, a lot of them, because I really got into their movies and stuff, right? They do value like being like there's certain aspects of them. When you're single, like a monk, it's giving high value, right? I don't know the inner details, but I know there's certain cultures where being single and also solitude is viewed as very sacred, as a beautiful thing, right? Now being single, it's one of the most okay, being in a couple is good, but being single, there's good things, a lot of good things in that, right? for one, this is your time to flourish, right? For me, I'm contemplating whether I would like to extend being single for a long time or not. That would really be a choice of mine, because I feel like being single, it's like, in many ways it's a blessing, right? And then there was a point where I don't know, I just wanted to be a couple. I just want to be part of a couple. But then when I look back into it, I realized that this was not me. This was programming I was getting from like watching too much movies about coupledom, too many movies about people they're always crying to be in a relationship, right? After a while I found out that's not really that's a good thing when it's time, if it happens spontaneously, right? Like, I'm all about things happening in their natural course, right? But if it doesn't happen in a natural time, I am more than happy to enjoy my singletude, right? Same thing with being a loner, right? For instance, I relish, like, I'm very, to some points I'm kind of introverted, but I also, over the years, I've developed an equal balance towards extroversion, right? And if you're looking at social media, because there was a time where I was like, oh, I need to be part of a couple, especially when I was in my 20s and I was boy crazy, early 20s, like 20 going 21, 22. But then I since settled down and I found out, look, that wasn't me speaking, that was the outer voices speaking, and that was not me internally, right? That wasn't really what I wanted, but it was just programming I was getting from outside influences that was telling me you're not worth it unless you have you don't have like a boyfriend, if you don't have like somebody that you're coupled up with, right? So I found out, like, as I got to know myself more, that what's going on is that this is just programming that I'm absorbing, but this is not who I really am, right? So over the years, like, I always had a knack for writing, right? But it since has developed more and more and more. Like, one thing I like to do is I like to journal, right? And I have a lot of journals. I like to journal and just write down my thoughts. And the good thing about writing your thoughts, especially if you spend like 30-40 minutes writing your thoughts, you'll see that you begin to, okay, when you get to know yourself on a deeper level, and you start to see, okay, what do I like, what don't I like, what makes me tick, what inspires me, you know? And I feel, because Western society is always preaching be in a couple, always have like x so amount of friends at all times because you want to be the life of the party, which that's great, you know, that's great, that we're missing something that the Eastern cultures have really cultivated really well, right? But I would have to say that monks, I understand that the solitude is important, but I think sometimes they put solitude a little bit too far also, right? So I would advocate like a balance, right? Like an equal balance of solitude, coupledom, singleness, and having friends, if that's what you want, right? That'd be great, you know? Yeah, like, I can remember like, for instance, if you're looking at social media, it will tell you you always need to go clubbing, be with the girls, go for brunch. And I'm a person, I'm what you would refer to as a highly sensitive person. And not only am I highly sensitive, but I absorb people's energy very quickly. And if I'm in like certain situations, like if it's like too big, like I go into sensory overload. I shut down. Like, if I'm around too many people, I don't like that. Although if you're looking at my other videos, you'll see that I love like people watching and all that stuff because it's non-threatening, right? But when I'm around too many people at one time, what actually happens is that my body, like my sensory, it just affects me in a way where it's like there's too many people around me. I need to get a quick exit, right? So but over the years, like I remember when I was in high school, I was antisocial. Like it's not that I hated people, I just didn't really care for that much, right? I just didn't care for that. But over the years, I've become not antisocial, but more introvert. Well, I was always introverted. Yeah, I was always introverted. But over the years, I've learned that to be more introverted than antisocial, right? Because for me, like being antisocial, I don't really like I don't really ascribe to that as I used to. But now I would say I'm more what you call it introverted, and I have extroversion like characteristics. And I'm gonna stop here because and I want to make a quick aside. Like if you're hearing like somebody in the background, that's my dad. Like I don't know, he gets super annoying sometimes. Like he's very talkative and he likes to talk with his friends and stuff like that. Like he could be pretty annoying, right? Especially when I'm doing my videos, he starts like, yeah. Okay, so then to continue with what I'm saying is that I don't really advocate for being single, or over being a couple, over having many friends, and over more solitude, introversion, or a mixture of both. What I'm advocating is that, and I don't put any extreme, and if you do either extreme, it's perfect. But what I do want to tell you is that do some introspection sometimes, right? A lot of times, especially when there was an era where I was just boy crazy, a lot of times you adopt certain attitudes because of the culture that you're in. And when you start doing introspection, you'll see maybe this is not really me, but it's the ideas of the whole I'm adopting as though it's mine, or it's for me, right? Like, so then you guys, so while I'm a big advocate for like okay, let me continue what I was saying. Like when I was younger, right, I was really antisocial, right? And it was antisocial to a point where people like, man, does she think she's who does this girl think she is, right? Or some people like, man, why is she always doing that, right? There was one time I was in the gym in high school, and everybody was doing groups, but I stood by myself. I was playing the hoops myself, and then there's this other guy. He comes up, and all I hear is the gym teacher is like, try it and you're dead. So I turn around, and he had this basketball, right? And he was about to like hit me with it. And I'm guessing the reason is that I always got, like, sometimes I would get this attitude, like people would think that I thought I was, I don't know, they thought I was like antisocial, they didn't like that. So then the value of singleness, what I really want to get back to is that the value of singleness is that when you're single, it's like the world is your oyster, right? Okay, the world is your oyster. You like your free spirit. It's like you don't have somebody you have to say, look, you were looking at that guy, you were looking at that girl, and I don't like it. You can look at whoever you want, you can flirt with whoever you want, you could just go when you want, you could do what you want, you could wear what you want, you wear a skirt that's like way above the knees, and you don't have to answer to somebody saying, look, I'm jealous right now. I don't want you going out like that, right? The food for thought is that you would begin to see, look, what do I want to do, right? What's right for me, right? Because I don't advocate for one. You would know which one you love more, right? And which, if you want an equal balance of which. But I feel like sometimes people are always like, oh, I need to be in a couple. Like me, for instance, because they're just being fed that idea that's all there is, you know, and that's not true. Okay, so my final point before I go is that a piece of advice for you guys, especially the ones that want to go to singleness to coupledom, and your singleness will be your coupledom will be successful when you can be comfortable being in your own company, right? I feel that sometimes, especially there was several group of people that I used to really like, these guys I liked. What was a deterrent for me and them, why I never would approach them and I would always avoid the person, is that they would always have a brigade of people that would be like a barrier between me and them, right? So young women, young guys, or older, whichever you are, if you want somebody to come and approach you, you have to be alone sometimes, right? I know you're comfortable being with a lot of friends, but the person that wants to approach you, they're human, right? And if you're always around the brigade, like an army of people that are next to you, it is extremely intimidating. And not only intimidating, but it could be hard for them to approach you, and it's because you're never set aside, right? So while you love being popular and having brunch, have an area where you by yourself or towards the side where the person could come approach you, right? And finally, it's always better to be single, stay single, than to get into something that's not good for you, right? Stay single, get into your thoughts, think about what you want, all areas of your life, and just sit with your thoughts, and then get the modalities, either it's therapy, shadow work, journaling, mirror work, where you heighten your self-esteem and you become the person that you want to attract, right? So whoever you want to attract, you have to become that person. Okay, so then finally, you guys, stay single until you can find the right one, right? Stay single until you can attract a very healthy relationship. Be comfortable to be yourself and by yourself and in your own company, right? So then that's my video for today. My name is Kristani Jen. Thanks. Have a great day, you guys. See ya.